Good morning. There, I think I'm live. Okay, so today I have a new um, little sculpture presentation for you. And of course, if you come on and you have questions, please put the questions in the comments at the end where I can really answer them in full. It's a little hard for me to do my presentation and be able to answer you right on the spot, but I'll absolutely answer in detail when as soon as we're done. So I've been talking about. Let me turn down my music for a minute. We've been talking about how I have all kinds of um, sculpture models and plaster models, rubber molds from the past. And what really inspired me to get out my boxes and finally go through them to show you different molds and how we did them, different parts, how we cut them up. I have this little cool porcelain piece that we made in our studio. Actually, this is not a mold of a turtle. This is a sculpture, a very detailed sculpture of a very special exotic turtle. We used to rehabilitate wildlife. Chuck did in particular back in the day. And this was called Kelly's in Sculpta. This is the fly river turtle of New Guinea. And we actually had specimens of this turtle. So he was inspired to do this sculpture. And even though I never considered myself a sculptor in the beginning, and this is in porcelain, so I'm going to look for the model and the mold that was used to create this in porcelain. I was an illustrator, or I thought I was just an illustrator many years ago, and I wanted to be a scientific illustrator, so a nature illustrator. So anyway, I found that, and I have a box here, one of several that I have not gone through for 10 years. And so today I'm going to start to open these up. We're going to see what we have. One came out right away that was, um, this is a mold on a beautiful face. If I can find the original clay in here, I will be so happy. But you can see in the negative shape, this is a rubber mold on this face. What a beautiful face. And this was by Chuck many years ago. It was a really cool sculpture. Now you might see that this came off that. This is the little mother, what we call mother plaster mold to just hold that rubber in shape. So when it's being cast with plaster, isn't that cool how it looks 3D, but you're seeing the negative shape. Again, this is going to come out. See, it's just a piece of rubber, silicone rubber, but when you pour it in plaster, you want to make sure that, it doesn't do this, right? So you put it in there, and how cool is that, right? So it pops out like it's 3D when it's an innie, not an outie, if that makes sense. So I just opened the very first box. This says Studio Model Kitten Head. That's going to be very interesting to see. So we'll take a look at this. And I'm going to repackage these, but it's time I open them up and see what we have. Oh, here it is. All right. So this, I think, is that plaster or resin? I'll tell very quickly what it is. I think it's plaster. Let me see if I can get that in the light for you. Isn't that cool? Hi, Al. So I'm finally opening up my boxes from 10 years. I have not seen these models and molds for that long, and I'm going to open them up, repackage them, show you as I go, and just take stock of what we have. And now, one of the things I should say real quickly is having a face like this, and say if when I finish my raccoon face, one of the things that's important about that is you can mold the face and then cast it in plaster, like this is the other face I just showed a minute ago. And then you can, the Cheshire Cat, you can make additional copies of this and say you want to do a bunch of kittens playing. And you can seal the plaster and then put clay on top and make slight differences, but you don't have to go to the difficulty of making a perfect face again, and it's a little hard to see with this lighting. Let me show you again, this little kitten face done in plaster. Go real close. Oh, there you can see some of the detail on that. I'll turn it to the side. Really, really cool. He's sleeping. That's a sleeping kitten. All right, so let's see what else we have. And this is just the first of a deep bucket here, and I have two more to go through. So let's see what we have. This says small infant head. That's an interesting label. I think I know what this is. Small infant head. Yes. This was to the mother and child sculpture. I haven't seen this in 10 years. This is a little baby that went with we have the piece called the gift, and then that's in bronze, and then this was for the porcelain version we did of the gift. So yeah, the texture, I mean, the detail is stunning on these pieces. There's another studio model. Let's get a different one. These are all kittens. Oh, here's a child head. Let's take this one out. I'm gonna repackage them all and just organize them so they're instantly accessible as we go forward. We're going to do oh, here we go. You're going to love this. We're going to do plaster models from rubber molds. This is this resin? I think this is a resin model. Sometimes we would do models in resin. Isn't that a beautiful piece? And we would do the models in resin so that they could be preserved for indefinitely. And this is an example of that. It's hard as a rock, but it can have a mold made on top of it. And here is the mold. So this was cast in resin. That's the negative mold. See the rubber? And it's just got plaster put on top. If you don't put the plaster on top, you see the distortion you're going to get if you try to cast that. So if you put the rubber and you can cast that in either plaster or isn't that cool how it looks 3D when you see the negative? But this is what was cast into it. This was a little boy's brothers, and they were imagining a beach they're on a beach and they're imagining playing pirates. So that was a cool, fun thing to do. So now we found those. And let's see, I think I'll wait to open. These are duplicates here. Let's take out something new. And this is going to be the models for the sea turtle. I haven't seen this in a long time. We did porcelain sea turtles, and then we did bronze sea turtles. And these are, oh my goodness. These are plaster models, and these are not molds of turtles. One of the things about making porcelain is you'd have to make it about 16% larger than life size. See the fitting for the parts? You would have to make it larger than life size so that when you fired it, it would, and these are porcelain parts, I can feel that. See the separate parts to come out of the mold. So and you have to reassemble it. Al's asking, and please ask that in the comments when we're done too. So I'd love to answer that for everyone coming on. Is you would have to, if you're going to do it in porcelain, you'd have to create your parts for a plaster mold set and see the fittings. So when you got all these pieces out, that would be called greenware. And if you've ever seen those ceramic shops that put together different things, you know, a lot of back in the day, a lot of housewives would go at night and make pots and figurines and glaze them. And anyway, those places could they don't really exist anymore, but what you would do is take what they call greenware and reassemble it and then fire it. And it was always hold your breath till it comes out of the kiln, because at 2400 degrees Fahrenheit for porcelain, a lot can go wrong. And I had many years of experiencing that. Here's the turtle head, the little sea turtle head. Again, it's bigger than life size. And let me see if I can get there you go. There's the detail. And you couldn't just mold a turtle or cast a dead animal. That didn't work. And then you have lots of little parts with fittings. See the fittings on there? So it's a whole process. And from this point forward, probably want to just get into making plaster models and not going to porcelain again. But oh, Al, you don't know the half of it, all the stuff we lost in the kill. And part of the learning experience is knowing how to prop things in the firing stage so that they don't warp and split. And oh my goodness, so many other things. So now I'm going to see what this is, but this is the clay that we used to use. Chavant Company had this other kind of clay. Oh, I know. This was for a magazine. It was supposed to be an alien. It was supposed to be an alien. And so Chuck did a skull. It's all damaged here now, but he did like an alien head. And anyway, that's a funny episode. That's a very funny episode. So I haven't seen that in many years. And there's the original. That's shocking. All right. I hope I don't run out of space right here. Let's see what else we have in this magic bag, the Pandora's box here, getting me in trouble again. This says miscellaneous studio model parts, bases. Let's see what that is. And I'll just do a few every morning. E.T. go home, really. Oh, that was a funny episode. Okay, so I'm not sure what this is yet. Let's see what this is. There are so many things I haven't seen in many years. All right, what is that? Oh, what is that? This is for sea turtles. So these were bases. And that looks like just plaster. I'm not really sure, with all kinds of little fittings in it. So I'm not really sure what that was for yet. So I think I'll go through that. I'm seeing some sea turtle parts. So we kind of covered the sea turtles. I'll move to the next area. Let me not lose a part in there. All right. There's some heavier things in here. Oh, here's something. Oh, an extra rubber mold. Now this does not have, oh, I see what's in it. Let me see if you can see the inside of that. If I light it up, it's a kitten face. If you can see inside that rubber mold. So you could pour that in plaster. Now, we don't have a plaster mother mold over that, but it's so thick a rubber mold, it's probably okay that if there's some distortion, and maybe it was intended that there be some distortion to make each one a little different. So when you go to the trouble to make a perfect face, and I'll go back to this example here, this little baby's face, if you were going to make another head, it takes a long time to get a really perfect, nice, small head. And if you mold that, you can make slight variations on it and you have already solved a lot of the problems that occur in getting 3D just right for a face. It really shows when things are off in a human face. All right, let's see what else we have in our little grab bag here. I'm not sure what a lot of things are, so I don't want to take up too much time if I can't identify what we're looking at. Let's see what this is. It hasn't been opened in many years. 10 years. 10 years. So, all right, let's see what we have here. Oh, more kittens. So there was a period of kitten making. We have some bronze sculptures too. I won't take that plaster right off of there. I'll try to put that over here. And maybe these are all kittens. Let's see. No, this is a head. Oh, this is another child's head. This is not by us. Remember I mentioned those ceramic places people would work at night and for a hobby. This was a famous head that was done in Asia that was a very popular, I'm going to dismiss our time limit, very popular sculpture that was used in many different designs. Again, a really well-made, beautiful face can be applied in different designs. So that kind of makes it. And here's, oh, and again, now here's the advantage of porcelain. You can start out with big and you can fire it down successively because the shrinkage, you can fire it down every time you mold it, recast it, you can fire it smaller. And they were just some study models. And that's another thing. I would encourage you all to look for study. Same thing here. This is another version of the same thing. So those were for study. We never molded them except for study models because that was such a well done head. But anyway, that's all for this time. If you can see, I've been starting the base design on this. I haven't finished the actual raccoon yet, but um, I've been trying to work out, and this, of course, will be corn stalks over here. So maybe on Friday I'll have a little progress. I'm going to make some wooden rocks on the base too. So you'll see that soon. So thank you so much for coming on today, Al. I really appreciate all your comments, and I'll try to answer some more questions of yours, Al, in the comments. And if you could write to me there, that would be great. Other people get to see what we're working on. And thank you so much. All right. So I'll talk to you on Friday. I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.